Hi, welcome to Planetary Calendar Astrology. I'm Ralph Demetrius, and this is Lonnie Demetrius. We're doing the forecast for April. We're going to do it in a series of weeks. So we're going to look at the overall view of the month. What did we actually write about it a year and a half ago when we were forecasting this? The first 7 days of the month are filled with aspects, including Mercury turning direct on the 7th. So Mercury is moving slowly in the early part of the month, so those kinds of communication issues will take extra time and effort to make them work. Venus turns direct on the 12th. So after that, all the planets are moving forward, so we're going to be entering a time when projects can be moved along very easily. Now, the full moon, which is when on the 12th, is going to align with the star Spica. This is the brightest star in the constellation Virgo. It's a very powerful feminine archetype, so expect women's issues to be highlighted. Before and after the Taurus ingress, there are numerous aspects, so expect those few days right around when the sun goes into Taurus to be stressful. By the new moon on the 27th, there may be a series of teetering on the edge between the past and the future. And when Venus enters Aries on the 30th, there will be a sense of finally moving beyond that. So,
we are up to the 27th of April, and we're going to go all the way through to the 3rd of May because we're trying to really stick with this in a very disciplined way with the Sunday to Saturday forecast. So, it's a lovely Taurus moon on Sunday the 27th, but I'm going to throw it to Ralph anyway for that letter N.
yes, but it's also the new moon. It's the new moon at the 7 degrees of Taurus, the cow, which is the very bossy section of Taurus, the early bossy
Luckily,
section.
I don't have anything there in my chart.
No, you're not really bossy. You're just charming.
I just have skills.
You're just charming. You just have skills, right? Exactly. So the
new moon is new beginnings.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You start, energy starts to build. If you've been flailing a little bit and, winding down energetically speaking, after the new moon, energy starts to build. It's not just you, it's the universal energy.
Yes. And I just realized that I do have to apologize because we're saying about that our description of it is just a little bit wrong, but I'm going to explain anyway. What's happening is if you have the day planner, you actually have the chart there. So when you're looking at the lunations, you realize that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there in Aries. You have Neptune, Mercury, and Chiron in Aries. In the early part of the month, Chiron was conjunct, same degree, with the sun at the full moon. Okay, so that thing of personal wellness, personal care, and such really became a big issue. And with Mercury and Venus both moving into Aries, personal care becomes real important. But this first part of the Taurus is a little bit like the cow in the china shop. There's a lot of push about it. So kind of be aware of people being pushy. Let's put it that way.
Well, and Mars is not in early Taurus.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So you'll have to make that correction in your own mind. I'm very sorry.
I do apologize for that.
How many proofreaders do we have? So many.
Yes. Yes, but it was supposed to be the sun. Well, the sun in early Taurus, it may feel like a cow in a china shop.
Right.
Mea culpa. So tempers may clash, stubbornness so stay on your toes. And then on the 30th, it's the next one that comes up. We have stuff in between there. On the 28th, we just have nice social aspects with the moon.
A couple of social days.
Yeah, a couple of social days, 29th, 20th, and 29th are both
with
nice
an inconsequential void, of course. It's not even an hour long, and after I'm in bed.
There you go. But the next one that really kind of matters is on the Wednesday, the 30th, and that's when Venus enters Aries. And what do we say about that? Venus enters Aries, so expect people to be more self-aware and focused on their own concerns. Venus in Aries is a very personal position. Remember, Venus in Libra is the career position. It loves being out there. It loves being connected to the world. Venus in Aries likes focusing on the family. It likes focusing on the people around you. But it's a fire sign. Remember, it's the sign of the shepherd. So you may find that when Venus goes into Aries, you may be getting calls from people who care about you saying, so how you doing? Is everything going okay? Do you need anything? You're going to get a lot of this kind of like, like you're being shepherded. Let's put it that way. Have you thought about changing careers? maybe this, maybe this,
Really?
maybe this astrology thing could really work out for you. You work on that. So don't be surprised if you feel those kind of things happening a lot with Venus and Aries. People were gonna, after COVID, people really were kind of slow to get back into contact with other people. We've really reached the point now where people really want to be around other people.
Right.
We do a lot of speaking to groups, and
You had to
we're getting
figure
more-
out how to be in the world again. It's been a big transition for people.
Yeah, but we're getting more and more calls. Like everything we were doing for so long was in Zoom, but now we're getting more and more calls to speak in front of groups, in front of actual live people, which is very refreshing.
Right.
You
Exactly.
You get a lot of energy from that. So
And now for a little sneak peek ahead
Yes.
into the first couple days of May.
Yes.
There are no annotations for those first 3 days
No,
of May.
quite.
I love that May starts with May Day, but I
Yes.
love even more that in Hawaii it's called Lay Day. I think maybe we should be in Hawaii for May Day,
Oh, nice.
and we should put on the lei.
Yes.
But I digress.
And the moon's going to go into the sign of the crab on the first day, which is just a
Very
lovely
early in the
position.
morning, so a whole day
Very strong
of crabbiness.
position. And people don't understand the sign of the crab was the symbol of women when they would lead the tribe down to the shore in the summertime because it was hot and the children could play and they could hunt for food along the shore and have crab fests. So it's a sign of feminine leadership, and the concept of jewelry came from the fact that they were there, they would gather shells and they'd make jewelry. So the women who had the most amount of jewelry were the ones who had made the trip and had led the tribe to the shore the most number of times.
There you go.
So that's why jewelry is a sign of feminine leadership.
There you go.
And then on the second is the moon is still in the sign of the crab, and Venus is going to be conjunct to Neptune. So we have this continuing theme of Neptune getting a chance to speak out. So we're really going to have to pay attention at that time to see what Neptune is saying.
With Neptune and Aries, everything is changed.
Yeah, and the moon,
Everything is changed.
and the moon is going to be sextile the planet of Uranus, which is in Taurus, the cow. So it's interesting. This is a really kind of earthy, watery position. It's going to be interesting.
The uninteresting part may come out of that square to Mercury, so
Yes.
watch out for mom butting heads with
kids,
children,
yes,
or
yes.
Younger people at work, or newbies of some kind, or
I'd say put
just
'em-
communication being a little bit.
I'd say put them to work. That's what I would say. Put them to work. And then on the
It's
third,
not a Capricorn moon.
no, that's true. It's well, they can help carry the food to the table or something.
That's true.
So on the third, which is the Saturday, it's also the Kentucky Derby. All kinds of nice aspects to the moon. The moon will be in Leo after about 4:28 a.m. in the morning. So just a whole bunch of nice aspects to Saturn, to Neptune, to Venus, and to Mars. And of course, they only in opposition to Pluto once again. Just a real nice social day. Good. It's gonna be fun at the Derby. We should probably go. You get hats. You can
Okay.
get hats.
I'm there.
Okay.
I love a good horse race.
There you go. Maybe we'll put a little money on the nose.
There you go.
There you go.
So that's your peek into April. Drop us a note if you have some observations about the questions we asked. You didn't know there was going to be a quiz. And if you haven't gotten your calendar, we have just a few left. Come see us at planetarycalendar.com. Hopefully we'll have the 2026 before too
production
long.
soon, yes.
The calendar is flying along. And if you haven't subscribed already on YouTube, go to YouTube
Planetary
/ Planetary Calendar Astrology. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notifications, and let me know if you want us to put you on our reminder list.
And I have to say, in these current events, I think we all need more guidance than usual.
That's true.
So be well and have a wonderful April.